right. Hello, hello, hello. It's good to see everybody. It was good to see 11 of you just now in the Zoom call. And we'd love to see more of you at 7 o'clock in the Zoom call. And I'm probably going to bring that up again. So I'm going to write this down right now. Comment already. Hey, hey. Good stuff. Hi, everyone. Christopher, Eric, anybody else, if you have any announcements, you can add them in the chat, or I'm adding them to the end of rehearsal right now so that I can make sure to make some announcements at the end. So let me know if you've got anything in mind. Cool stuff. Make sure to stay till the end of rehearsal because we are going to announce what the new song that we will eventually start learning will be. It still has to be arranged, so that has not happened yet. But we will announce the song so that you have an idea of what's coming. I'm going to wait about 15 more seconds, see if anybody else comes on, and then we will go ahead and jump in. All right, so let's hop to it. Check your alignment. Hey, Jeff, good to have you with us. Ugh. Not a whole lot of room here to stretch. I need to get a better setup as I go forward in here. All right. Take a deep breath in. Okay. Can anyone else not hear me? Jeff says he can't. It's showing me that okay, cool. Yeah, it's showing me that sound is coming through. So good. Let's check your alignment. Make sure that your ear holes are over the top of your shoulders, over the top of the hips, over the middle of the ankles. Stand up nice and tall. Deep breath in and out. And another deep breath in and out. Now really expand that rib cage on this breath in and out. Great. And another rib cage expansion. Keep it expanded and exhale. All right. One more of those. Good. Okay. Very good. We've got our breathing, our alignment. Make sure you're always checking that alignment. If you are sitting, that is totally okay. Try to make sure that you are either up near the edge or all the way in the back so that your back is actually slightly off the back of the seat. But again, you can have that ear hole over the top of the shoulders, over the top of the hips. And then if you're sitting, then don't worry about where your ankles are. That's not going to work. But at least those 3 points. And then let your shoulders hang comfortably. And let's do a little many mumbling mice. Speaking it. 1, 2, 3. Many mumbling mice are making midnight music in the moonlight. Mighty nice. Many, many mumbling mice. All right, do you remember it now? Let's do that again. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Many mumbling mice are making midnight music in the moonlight. Mighty nice. Many, many mumbling mice. And I went a little long on moonlight. I apologize for that. Let's try singing it. Remember, it's in minor. I will sing it again and model it for you, and then we can repeat it together. So just repeat after me. Sorry, a little higher than that. Let's go here. Nope, I lied. That'll be a good one. Many mumbling mice Many mumbling mice are making midnight music in the moonlight. Are making midnight music in the moonlight. Mighty nice, mighty nice. Many, many mumbling mice. Many, many mumbling mice. Bigger phrases. Many mumbling mice are making midnight music in the moonlight. Many mumbling mice are making midnight music in the moonlight. Mighty nice. Many, many mumbling mice. Mighty nice. Many, many mumbling mice. Let's do the whole thing. Men, 2, 3. Many mumbling mice are making midnight music in the moonlight. Mighty nice. Many, many mumbling mice. And a bit faster. 1, 2, 3. Many mumbling mice are making midnight music in the moonlight. Mighty nice. Many, many mumbling mice. And a little faster. 1, 2, 3. Many mumbling mice are making midnight music in the moonlight. Mighty nice. Many, many mumbling mice. That making midnight music part is pretty tough. Making midnight music in the moonlight. Making midnight music in the moonlight. There's definitely some sounds getting thrown away a little bit there on purpose. And that is okay. Try one more time. 1, 2, 3. Many mumbling mice are making midnight music in the moonlight. Mighty nice. Many, many mumbling mice. And there you go. So we're going to, let's see here, we got 7:38. We are going to do some of our vowel exercises to finish this warm up, and then we're going to jump in on our call with Dusty. And Dusty is going to do a presentation that he has done in a number of different places. He teaches it at Harmony University. And I'll talk a little bit more about this when we jump into it. But just thinking ahead, it's a presentation about authentic performance and performing in an authentic way. So if you are already thinking of some questions that you might want to ask him, get those ready because we'll let him probably run through most of his presentation. But you can comment questions throughout, and I'll be ready to ask him those as a Q&A when we get to the end. I'm getting a lot of stuff thrown at me. Okay, good. Sorry about that. All right, here we go. So let me pull up our vowel resonance chart over here. There it is. And we will listen to the tracks that I produced for the vowel video. So if you have, where is it? There it is. If you have not watched the vowel resonance video that I put out on Friday, please go ahead and do so. I was going to give you all a hard time about it because it says there are only 3 views, but I was just informed in the Zoom call that a whole bunch of you have watched it, and it just still says 3 views. So cool. Yeah, Eric, please look into that in the next hour so that I can put that in the announcements at the end. All right, here we go. Vowel warm-up number 1. So we have a, ah, and we're going to say it, 3 in a row. So in order: as, rise, song, as, rise, song. Then in any order, 3 times, but pick the order: song, as, song, rise, as, whatever order you pick. And then one more time: as, rise, song. And just sing along with the recording. The recording has it that way: in order: as, rise, song, as, rise, song. Then the recording has the 4 parts in random, and so your goal is to sing your random vowels and try to make it match. And then it'll be in order again. So hopefully that makes sense. Awesome. Jeff is prepped and ready to go because he's already watched it. So here is the first family of vowels. I believe there's a pitch in the recording too. Here we go. So that's our first family of vowels. Now we're going to jump right to the second family. And we sing when, love, and Lord. When, love, Lord. Here we go.
When, love, Lord. When, love, Lord. Love, Lord. Lord, when, Lord. When, love, Lord.
Great, good stuff. Hey, Jeff and Jeff, good to see both of you in here. Let's go on to our third family of vowels, and we sing will, girl, and look. And notice I said look and not look. Look, look, girl, look. Very, very similar vowels. Will, girl, look. They're all so close together. All right, here we go with our third family. Again, in order, random, random, in order. Here we go.
Will, girl, look. Will, girl, look. Girl, will, girl, will, girl, look.
All right, and finally we're going to end with the final family, which is just two vowels, and so it's going to be me too, me too, me too, me too. So 4 times the pair. Then pick whatever order you want. It could be me too, to me too, to me, to me, to me, to me, to me. Just try to get both of those in there a little bit so that you're feeling the difference. Then once again, me too, me too. So 4, 4, 2. Here we go, and then I'm going to call Dusty.
Me too, me too, me too, me too.
Random.
Me too, me too.
Okay, there we are. So we are all warmed up and we are ready to learn. I'm going to get this Skype call started. While I'm doing that, I can kind of give you a little bit of an introduction. So I can hear the Skype music. I don't think you can. Maybe you can. Good. All right. So, hey Dusty, I can hear you. They cannot yet. Just so that you've got a heads up. So everybody, I'm going to be introducing you in a second to Mr. Dusty Schleier. He is the director of the Music City Chorus, also the director of events and conventions at Barbershop Harmony Society, and sings with a quartet called Entourage, right? Did I get that right? Yes, I did. Excellent. And he's also a performance judge. So he's going to be talking to us about some stuff. So let me just get you on. Here we are, Dusty. Welcome, welcome. Doing well. There's a bit of a delay going on now. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Okay. I'm right. I'm going to pause my video in Skype so you won't see me. That might help us out if I can find that. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, that seems to have already helped on my end. I don't know about yours. Great. I can hear you, and they can still see both of us in the meantime. So if you'd like to go ahead and address the chorus, ready to go. Oh, hold on a minute. Sorry. Now they're all saying they can't hear you because I had you muted. My bad. There's so many different pieces of software.
Fancy.
Now we're ready. Do you want to start again, Dusty? I'm so sorry.
Sure, that's fine. From the very top, I'm sure my chorus would love to mute me during some of our courses. If they had that power, that would be great. Good to be with you all. Again, my name is Dusty, and I'm thankful that you all are staying connected and learning and doing all that stuff during this time. We just want to get together and sing a chord and that kind of thing. Hopefully we can get back to that soon. But we're going to talk about performance and talk about how we can be authentic and relevant when we're going to be singing our music. And we can work on these skills, in these times. And hopefully when we get back in front of an audience as soon as we can, we'll be better performers and better musicians and singers because of all this work. So thanks for sticking it out here, and hopefully the technology will cooperate. I'm going to try and share my screen, and Drew, you can maybe let me know if this is going to work or not.
Yep, will do.
And we'll give it a go here. So bear with me one moment.
And guys, at any point, go ahead and write questions if you have them into the comments. And if it's pertinent immediately, then I will just kind of jump in and bring it up, or we'll see as necessary. All right, it looks like I see it going up. Just give me a second to hit the right button here. Oh, wrong screen. They can see my screen. That's not what we want. Nope. I will get this in just a moment. Here we go. Add that. Got it.
Cool. So you can hear me and see my screen?
Correct. You can see your PowerPoint, and we can see you down in the corner, and we can hear you.
How exciting. So we're going to talk about authentic performance. And again, Drew, just interrupt me if any questions come up along the way that are relevant. We'll go from there because I can't see you or hear any or see anybody else's comments, obviously. So yep. I thought we'd start off with a quote about technique. If you're like my course, we work a lot on technique. Our singing scores might not show it all the time, but we do try. But we work on technique, and what's the reason why we work on technique, right? Why do we work on all these skills to be the best singer we can be, to make sure our alignment's perfect, to make sure that we're doing all the right things with our voice? It would be great just to just compare ourselves against that skill set. But here's the why. I just love this quote. Technique will protect our voices from abuse and give us access to things like color, shading, agility, textures, dynamics, range, and stamina. Yet the singer must use technique, not be enslaved by it. By all means, do build yourself a lovely voice. Build a lovely voice for yourself, but don't stop there. Your technical expertise is the palette, not the painting. In other words, all these skills that we're doing, we're just trying to get the best palette, the best paints that we can, and then it's up to us to create the masterpiece with that technique, right? You want your voice to be an instrument that is capable of transporting an audience from the darkened theater into unseen realms of their imagination. You want to be able to take a listener by the scruff of their neck and lead them on emotional journeys to places within themselves they never knew existed. You want to be a singer, not merely a vocalizer. That's the end goal. That's why we work so hard, is to connect with an audience, is to be able to communicate something as we go through. When we're performing, we're communicating through the medium of barbershop harmony. We're constantly communicating, and we do it all day long. At least we used to when we were interacting with other people back in the old days. Still, even with your family or with your coworkers on Zoom calls or whatever it is, you're still naturally communicating things when you're speaking. When you're encouraging somebody, your face and your voice do a certain thing. You're trying to uplift somebody's spirits or celebrate, right? There's things we're doing vocally with our face, with our bodies that we all do pretty well naturally. We gain sympathy or empathy. We try to persuade somebody or convince somebody to do something, right? We use our body, our eyes, our face, and our voice all at the same time when we're talking. Or we're trying to, we know what our mission is. We're trying to know what our end goal is when we're speaking most of the time. And for some reason, if you're like me as a barbershop singer, we kind of forget how to do all that. And we're so focused on sometimes the technique or trying to be a singer that we just forget how to do what we're really good at naturally. And what we want to do is just bring that, what we do naturally in terms of communication, and apply it to our music. So here's some 3 steps to start. What the heck are we trying to do here? What are we communicating? What is my mission or purpose for singing this song? So think of something in your chorus repertoire. I just picked one of my chorus worked on recently here, Bridge Over Troubled Water. And the mission in that one might be, there's no right answer here, but it might be, I am here for you. So by the end of the song, I want the person I'm singing to have no doubt in their mind that no matter what happens, no matter what goes wrong in the world, they're always going to have me, that I will always be there for that person. And that's going to guide how I look and how I sing and how I use my technique to be able to get that point across as the music and the arrangement and the lyrics dictate as we go through the song. But knowing that end goal is important. And it doesn't have to be this complex, like Bridge Over Troubled Water. It could be as simple as a polka, right? Down our way. We could just sing it and enjoy the chords. Or I could try to convince somebody that I want to just tell you how amazing my hometown is. Where I live is awesome. You should come here too, right? So there's something in any song we're singing, or it could just be you're communicating, I love barbershop harmony, right? That could be something we're trying to communicate and show off how much we enjoy ringing chords. That's also a potential mission. But knowing what your mission is important. So every time you sing, think about what you're trying to accomplish. And then you have to be present to allow yourself to be successful. This is trusting your technique. This is all the hours you spend every Monday night working on technique, trusting that. Allowing yourself to be in a place or a headspace to give everything to your communication, wanting to eliminate all possible distractions, obstacles. You're not going to worry about what's going on at work or at home, or if your yard needs to be mowed. You're just going to be able to communicate that message of that song. And then the third point here is to be honest. And this is a tough one. This is don't selfishly internalize the message of a song. One of the biggest obstacles when I'm working with a singer, performer, or a quartet or chorus, and just kind of going through feeling the music, right? We want to feel a certain way to accomplish our mission. It's not enough. I'm feeling sad right now. Well, how do you know? You have to take how you're feeling and then express it and communicate it. And that's the other part. So it's being present, knowing what you're trying to communicate, and then actually expressing it and communicating is that third part, right? So that's an important thing. We can talk about that here in a minute too. This next slide here is just a handful of techniques that you may be working on, or just various things about singing. There's a million of these, right? There's a million parts of singing that we can work on. But I just pointed out a few and to show how they might translate over to trying to communicate something to get across. Speak vocally. We want the look of what we're trying to accomplish in our body and our voice to all match, ideally, right? If our voice sounds a certain way, but our face and our eyes say something different, the audience is going to be confused. They won't feel it's real, it won't be authentic. So here's some things you can adjust in your singing and use your different technique and nuance as you're going through to try to communicate a message of a song. So vocal fold closure, right, kind of being able to sing kind of with a breathy quality or a more brilliant quality could communicate different things. And I apologize, my daughter is now here. You could probably hear her in the background. She just got home. So, but we'll keep rolling along. I held her in the moonlight could be reflective or it could be passionate based on just changing that closure, right? I held her in the moonlight would have kind of a romantic, reflective quality. And then just adjusting that, kind of the color there, to more brilliant quality. I held her would have more passion to it. Then obviously changing dynamics, right? If you're going to sing something softer, louder, it's going to have a different effect. Now, you probably work those two things together, ideally, to create some type of emotion. I'm going to sing "Heart of My Heart, I Love You." I could be intimate with kind of a very soft "Heart of my heart, I love you," or I could tell the world, right? "Heart of my heart, I love you." So just adjusting your dynamics has a different feel, and it could accomplish a different thing. Crescendos, decrescendos, going from a reflective feeling to determined, right? We're going to crescendo through if happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why oh why can't I, right? It would take an audience somewhere, and you could express that you're coming from a reflective thing about something to be more determined. Or in What Kind of Fool Am I, you could do a decrescendo for a self-realization. What kind of man is this? Probably how you'd speak it if you were trying to get that across and express it. Accents, or just when you're kind of coloring or pointing out an important word in a song. And then a feel of legato versus staccato could definitely change how a mood might be. The example here is it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. It could be warm and nostalgic. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, or a totally different feel, kind of anticipatory with a staccato feel. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, for instance. And then articulation, just the putting emphasis on the consonants, especially the non-singable consonants, using our lips, teeth, and tongue as we're going, can have a different feel. So, and there's 100 more. I don't want to spend a lot of time on that, but just think about how your technique, all the things that you work on all the time, how you can use every nuance of that to help get your point across and accomplish your mission as a communicator.
And if I can jump in for a second,
You bet.
it's just interesting to point out, as you and I were talking about yesterday when we were talking about this, that, you know, I'm as a singing pedagogy person, like that's where my brain always goes, is all that technique stuff. And we talk, just as you said, a lot about all of those technique things, but they're all rooted somewhere in the music and the musicality of it. And as you're saying, you know, that jumps into the performance aspect of it as well, and being part of that.
Yep, absolutely. It all works together, right? We can work on our vocal techniques and silo it. We can work on our performance techniques and silo it. But really, if we can work on all of those things together, we're going to be a much better performer, right? So every time I'm performing, I'm not just going to forget about how to sing or how to do the right things when I'm technique. I want to trust those skills, and that's why we have to put in the work, you know, at home on Monday nights, to be able to trust that we have those skills in a place where we can use them and utilize them as we're going through. It's kind of like golf. I'm working on golf right now. I'm kind of picking it back up after a few years, and there's so many parallels. There's 100 things to learn, and if I try to think about all those 100 things, I often miss the ball, right? Just we want to learn the things, practice them, and then when we're out there, it's just time to execute. It's just time to communicate this message of the music when it's showtime. Go ahead, Drew. Sorry to interrupt.
No, not at all. Thanks for saying that. You know, it's so interesting that frequently we think of performance as just being the visual aspect of it. But it's really, you know, an authentic performance, believable performance is more than just the visual aspect, though that's certainly a big part of it. It has to do with the way that things are sung and how they work together.
You're absolutely right. You know, how an audience is going to feel about what music you're doing. You know, take contest out of it. Just thinking about how an audience is going to perceive you isn't just going to be how you sound. It's not just going to be how you look. it's probably an equal-ish weighting of those two elements that's going to create how they feel about the performance and the music that you're bringing to
And
life.
then
So
do you also sound the same as you look, or are you sending two different messages? Or
yeah, you're exactly right. So when I'm coaching performance with an individual or an ensemble or group, I probably spend equal time on the vocal part of that, how to express vocally what they're trying to communicate, as I would with how they look. The two things have to work together.
Right.
Ideally. So this slide here is just a quick subject on subtext, which I'm sure many of you have been coached on and talked through in terms of as being a singer and performer. But oftentimes we forget about the verbal part of that. Subtext, just like what we're just talking about, works best expressing what we're actually saying, right? Talking about subtext in barbershop, we have to. Why? Because especially as a lead singer, leads, we often hold a note or a word sound for a long time while barbershop happens around us, right? The other parts usually get extra words or repeat of words. Or sometimes we're just holding a chord for a while in a piece of music. We have to know what we're trying to communicate during that time, because you've already said your word. You've already probably looked like what you're trying to communicate on the actual lyric. Then we have to put in place the subtext, what we're really trying to say when there's no additional words given. The one example, again, from a song that my course worked on recently for Bridge Over Troubled Water is, when you're weary, right? We hold that for a while. And if we just had the same look on our face, it would be like we'd pause the video while the audio kept going, and it wouldn't make any sense to an audience. So we have to put some type of text there and some thought to communicate something there. One example would be, I can't imagine what you're going through, right? So trying to communicate empathy to somebody that I'm talking to. Well, I can do that visually. When you're weary, right? I'm there for you. I can communicate that visually. But if I don't also do something vocally, it's going to feel weird. It's going to feel like I'm trying. It's going to feel like I'm doing something artificial with my face. Or if I just do something vocally and don't change how I look, it's going to sound like a vocal technique coming through. So we want to be able to communicate that I can't imagine what you're going to do, the empathy, and then use one of our skills, one of our techniques to also communicate that vocally. Usually you get this through a musical plan, right? If you think about the why, there's a musical plan here. It could be as simple as a decrescendo, right? When you're weary, you could do something with the music that enhances what you're trying to communicate. So just be thinking about that, especially in barbershop, such a unique art form where we are, especially as lead singers, holding things for a while other things are going on around you, that we have to be able to know what we're trying to accomplish. And it's like I have extra time to communicate something, right? It's like a bonus. We have to think about what those things are. So the example here, feeling small, so small, it could just be a repeat. When tears are in your eyes, when you're at your lowest point, I will dry them all. And then I could use that as another chance to communicate, I'm always going to be here. That might be a crescendo, right? I will dry them all, right? Whatever it is in the musical plan, think about the why and what you're trying to communicate. So just a skill set that sometimes is overlooked, again, especially the verbal part. I think subtext is often, at least in my category in performance, is talked about as how we look. If we just focus on that, we're missing the whole point. So quick tools and tips here, in addition to what we talked about already, is to go further. Explore deeper communication in what we're trying to express. There aren't too many songs written about average events, right? There's not a lot of titles about da-da-da-da-da-da, let's mow the lawn or whatever. A songwriter had a reason. Let's honor that music, honor that songwriter by exploring the deepest communication. Research the music. You don't have to sing with the same purpose of the intended songwriter, but it would be dumb not to find out what their intent was and honor that. And then think about how we can make this mean something. Like this example earlier, Down Our Way, right? Is there something we can do to connect better with an audience or more deeply? And then use every nuance of your vocal technique, all that stuff we talked about, everything that you work on every Monday night and hopefully every other night throughout the week, how you can use that in every nuance of that to get your point across. Another trick, thinking about, oftentimes I get asked the question, it's hard for me to it's hard for me to get away from thinking about technique, right? Is that you maybe that as a singer that I just want to just focus on this and that? A great example that works for some people that are kind of have a certain quality to their brain that goes a certain direction. Not everybody's going to be on this page, but thinking about having kind of snapshots of imagery or photographs to be able to draw from. There's some guys in my course, for instance, that are able to kind of draw a particular image in their mind kind of for every line of music that they sing, right? This music, I have this this picture of that person, standing a certain way in a certain environment, and they can get there every time they sing to kind of keep them in that mode. That could be a whole other class. But just thinking about kind of a visual image of what's going on often helps kind of get out of that left brain technique mode. And then thinking about two-way communication. We're a singer. We're usually on stage, with others of us in a chorus or quartet, right? Or as a soloist, maybe in some cases. But when we're communicating, it's not just into a black hole. Like I feel right now, just looking at my slideshow, not being able to see anybody. In music, communicating, it's a two-way reaction. Well, without having that person actually there, like if I'm singing a love song to my wife, for instance, if she's not right in front of me, how am I gonna? It'll be fake. It'll be artificial. So we have to think about how that person might react. So put yourselves in let's say, Heart of My Heart, I Love You, right? The Story of the Rose. Heart of My Heart, I Love You. I'm singing that to a love interest. I'm gonna look at that person and I'm gonna know exactly what they're looking like as I'm singing. We get this immediate feedback when we do like singing Valentines, if you guys do those or things like that, where the people are actually there in front of us. And I'm amazed, like in some of the quartets I've seen that, don't look all that great performing on the risers maybe, but you put them in front of a person that's getting roses on Valentine's Day from somebody they care about, and their expression is authentic as it gets. Like it's so easy to be authentic when that person you're singing to is right there. We don't have that luxury a lot of times on a stage. So imagine what that person might be like coming back to you as a reaction can affect your reaction, how you'd react to that. And then the last one of these tips is just to rehearse, just that 10,000 hours of rehearsal to get to be great at anything, right? You have to rehearse communicating every time you sing. Every time you sing and you're not thinking about what you're trying to communicate, you're rehearsing it incorrectly. You're learning to not be a communicator when you sing. So the more you can give yourself to the music, even in a warm-up, right, or a vocal exercise, having a reason or a purpose to communicate that while you're working on something, the more you can do that, the easier it's going to be and the more natural you're going to be at it. Just like anything, the more we do it correctly, the better we're going to be at it.
Those last 2 points in particular, if you can jump back that slide.
Yep.
The two-way communication and like imagining or feeling like there's someone right there in front of you. For me personally, that was a huge part of my journey in that last year before Forefront won. And I found eventually it was like I always had to be making eye contact with somebody. Even if there was nobody there, I had to put, imagine there being a person there and then looking directly into their eyes and communicating with that direct eye contact. And I practiced we're all so bad at actually keeping eye contact with people, and practicing just keeping eye contact and talking to people that way. And then bringing that onto stage where I had that same feeling of keeping eye contact. All of a sudden I was in the song more. And then now I find myself, again, as you said, live in the world of communication every time you sing. If I'm singing tags, I'm doing the same thing. If like, it's just something that it ends up feeling good, right? It's authentic for you too.
Yeah, and here's the secret, guys. Like, if it is more enjoyable to have a purpose in music, in singing, and to communicate something. Ringing chords is great. If you're adding another layer, being able to ring chords and have a purpose to it, it can be deeply satisfying, even on a Monday night rehearsal, more so than it is. So, I just found that the more that that my singers can put themselves and allow themselves to give themselves to the music in terms of communication more frequently, the more they're enjoying being able to actually, be a part of what's going on too. But yeah, it takes time. It's not easy just to jump, from one to the other.
Absolutely.
The more you can do it, the better you'll be at it. Great comment. So this is the point where I usually get a question about, well, we're in a chorus. How can we be an artist when we have this plan and we're supposed to do a plan? And I'll just leave this at that. My thoughts on this is that as a chorus singer, you are empowered to be an artist. You are, by definition, an artist. You are making music and express yourself vocally and visually as an individual. We're all different. This is probably the biggest change I've made as a director in the last 5 years, is kind of changing from trying to be a policeman so much, just trying to focus on keeping everything the same, right? And when I started getting out of my own way probably, and just empowering and having the singers feel empowered to go beyond trying to match everybody else, but truly be individuals, the result goes from a muted, dull, artificial, but maybe clean effect to something that's so much more vibrant. Now, ideally, we want both. We want something that is clean together. Ideally, you want the same ish plan, feeling, thoughts coming from all the singers, but with your own story behind it. So we want to hear and see you. Don't just be a chorus singer. Be a chorus of individuals making authentic choices, and expression can be so much more vibrant than performing a plan. Now, the director in me in the last one here is you can't just do whatever the heck you want. But we try to use conversation. If you have a question, ask somebody on the team, conversation, direction to guide everybody to similar experiences. If we know that this is going to be a climax of a song, right? This is going to be the biggest moment we have. Discuss the why and the reason. And then you being an artist, making your own individual communication decisions every time you sing the song will just give it kind of a freshness as well, within the context of your musical plan and the things that you've talked about. So you can't just go rogue. That's not the message here. But allow yourself within the plan and within what you're trying to accomplish as an ensemble to be an individual, and allow yourself to make amazing artistic choices every time you communicate. And Drew, do we have time for 3 quick examples here?
Cool. Yeah. Just one quick, sorry, there you go. One quick question that somebody had. We've actually got a few questions, but I'm going to save Larry and Jeff's for later.
Okay.
But Pat asks, doesn't it also involve allowing yourself to be vulnerable? So if you want to talk a little bit on vulnerability.
Yeah. It's scary. Being vulnerable in any position is kind of like allowing everybody to see you, and you have to have a comfort. I think the biggest thing is getting rid of the worry about what are they going to think about me. Thinking about somebody in the audience, as a singer, at least that's what I'm worried about a lot, getting in my own way. How they're watching me and they're listening to me. Are they going to like me? Right.
Right.
If we can get rid of that thought, you are in an amazing chorus. You're in a quartet that's outperforming, whatever it is. Get rid of that worry and trust in the work you've put in, and then you can allow yourself to just be seen and getting in that mindset headset. We could do a whole hour class on vulnerability, but it's scary. It's for someone like me that's not necessarily, I don't wear my emotion on my sleeve that often. It can be tough to be able to open up, but man, when you can allow yourself to trust and just be able to open your soul a little bit, that's when magic performances happen. I don't know, Drew, you've been a part of some of those. Mm-hmm. We've seen some on the international stage, and heck, I've seen them at the district stage in quartets that have never made it to international, and just seen some wonderfully authentic performances. But great comment from whoever threw that out.
Yeah, thanks for that, Pat. All right.
So we're going to I'm going to just cut this short. We'll just do 3 very quick examples. And I want you to think about what techniques you're seeing, because we're going to watch these performances. These are all great communicators. That's the spoiler alert here. They're all pretty good. What makes it good? I want you to be a judge, be an analyst here, and I want you to decide, talking to all the chorus guys that are watching, I want you to think about what techniques from what you work on Monday nights, or you've learned, or you've been working on, these artists are using to communicate their mission. Could be visual, it could be vocal, it could be a combination. Just kind of maybe see if you can pick out a couple things. Here's the first one here from Jennifer Hudson. Let me know, Drew, if you cannot hear this when I hit play here.
Smoky days
All right, we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. But so think about what she's doing. I'm impressed at how far she's come. If you watched her kind of get her start on American Idol, she was a great vocalist. But what she's learned to do is be an amazing communicator, mostly using her vocals, but she tells a story. You could close your eyes and know exactly what she's trying to communicate. Anyway, think about what techniques she may have been using. We're going to go to the next one here. This is Judy Garland. I wanted this example because I often get the question, but, Dusty, in barbershop, we're not singing War and Peace most of the time, right? We're doing these simple, classic songs. Well, here's one. Here's Judy Garland singing I Feel a Song Coming On. A lot of barbershop choruses across the world sing the song. And a lot of times it's kind of a, kind of a fun rhythm song. But it means more to her than just rhythm. See if you can catch a little bit of this.
I feel a song coming on. It's a melody full of the laughter of children out after the rain. You'll hear a tuneful story ring through you, love and glory, hallelujah and now.
All right, for the sake of time, I'll cut that short too. But the tag's really good here. But it's her putting her entire soul, right? Her body. She can't help but be moving around, free, communicating with everything that she's given. If you've seen the movie or know her story, the movie that recently came out, Judy, you know that this was what was keeping her going. Was this music, this song in her kept her alive, right? So it was so much more than just on the surface. Not an average event. And then the final one here, a song that Drew, you might know something about.
This old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Oh, Georgia, yeah.
And I'll cut that short too for the sake of time, but just I love this example because someone that doesn't have their eyes to be the luxury of using their eyes to be able to communicate, which is so vital to being able to understand what someone's thinking or feeling. He's so successful at just using voice, and then it's kind of his whole body as kind of almost a metronome in that song, just to show how much passion he has for what he's saying. That even without looking at his eyes once, we're just able to know exactly how he's feeling at any given time. So another cool example. And I will leave that here. I think I stopped sharing my screen, but I'm not sure.
Yep, that's right. So we're now side by side on what they can see. So
cool. Great.
Yeah. Is that thunder here or there?
I don't know. It might be here. It's raining, so it's very possible.
I was like, I'm getting a lot of thunder, but it's probably here. Anyway. Cool. So yeah, that's really awesome stuff. Thank you for sharing all of that. It's funny watching that Judy Garland video. Makes me kind of think of Blair from Double Date. Just the way that and for those of you guys that don't know Double Date, they're a mixed quartet. And they're just fantastic performers, and Blair just absolutely loves to sing all of the time. And I mean, you watch her and she's just so happy to be singing and happy to be making music, and it exudes from her. Yeah, exactly. Awesome. So we've got a couple of questions from earlier, and then everybody else, if you have any other questions based on everything that Dusty just said, go ahead and shoot them in the comments. But one of the earlier questions, Jeff said, so thoughts on singing in front of a mirror for practice?
Yep. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think that it's good to know kind of what we look like, as much as I hate looking at myself in the mirror sometimes. It's good to kind of know that what we look like, but what's better is video. So, if you can put more effort and time into actually, so our brain cannot do two things simultaneously, right? So when we're actually multitasking, we're not doing two things at once or seven things at once. We're going from one to the other very quickly and back and forth. So when we're trying to perform and be a communicator, if we can really put 100% into communicating and not worrying about analyzing, what am I looking like here, but to truly communicate. And then going back and looking at that video you just took of yourself, and seeing, giving 100% to just analyzing. How did I accomplish my mission? What did I look like here? And then going back and doing it again and performing. You can do that in your home with your phone. I remember growing up singing barbershop. It was more difficult. We had to get out the big old, 20-pound camcorder and hook it up and do all these things. It's so easy now. We can just set up a phone, record ourselves, and watch ourselves back. Use it if you can. Mirrors are more difficult because you're probably not going to get a good look at what you're actually doing. You're going to be so what you look like.
Yeah, part of the problem with the mirror, of course, is that you're working with the speed of light. Like everything that you see coming back at you from the mirror happened a split second ago, and you can't change that, but now you're analyzing it and thinking about it, which means you're not thinking about the next line in the song. So just as you're saying, better to separate those two things altogether. Go do a full performance, or at least like a chunk of the song, and perform it completely engaged in it, and then go back and watch what you did, analyze it. And then one thing that we experienced doing that exact technique as a quartet, you go back and watch the video, and you're now analyzing it while referencing how you felt while performing it. And so it's a much clearer comparison of, okay, well, what do I need to change in how I felt and how I was feeling, rather than, how should my face change, or is my eyebrow high enough?
Yep. That's a great point. And, it doesn't take a lot of effort. Again, these days and these times when we're singing together again, it doesn't take a lot of effort to set up a camera and then watch it back, right? But a mirror is better than nothing.
Yep.
But I would say take that extra step and let your brain use its full capacity as a performer and communicator, and then as an analyzer, to be able to go through that exercise. And it matters. You spending the time and putting in that effort is going to matter to one audience member, where a song that might have had a moderate effect on them might change their life. You never know. You never know.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. One other question that is more related to our current situation rather than this presentation.
Sure.
But one of our members asked, when is Music City thinking about singing together? And when that comes up, will there be masks involved and all of that?
Thursday the 24th. No, I'm just kidding. We have no idea. I wish I knew, man. I wish I had the answer there. I can't wait to get back and sing with my chorus and quartet again, like I'm sure you all can't as well.
Yep.
Man, that first chord is going to be amazing when it happens. Even if it's terrible, it's going to be amazing.
Right. It's going to be terrible because we're all going to be weeping.
Yeah, it might be. I don't know. I do know that I can only speak for the leadership of my chorus, which I think was what you asked, is that we're gonna be safe. So we're not gonna go safer than we feel comfortable. Whenever we do get back, depending on the situation, there's going to be some risk involved that people will have to take, right, to go and sing. I imagine whenever that happens, we'll probably take some steps to start in smaller groups. We talked about starting off, maybe getting back together in some sectional rehearsals, and I realized, well, that's stupid. We've been sitting for months without hearing 4-part harmony. We don't want to just go and hear the baritones.
Right.
So kind of our thought is whenever things kind of get better and turn around and we feel that there's a better sense that this thing's on the other side, we'll probably start in smaller groups of, like VLQs, right? Meeting in hopes of folks that are comfortable with it and they're going to sign off on the risks and get together, probably without masks, I would think, but in smaller groups first, and then slowly kind of get back together. So,
right.
Hoping every day that there's some advance in science that'll come through. I know a lot of people much smarter than I are working on it. And as soon as we can, we're ready to go. We're sure hoping to be able to get back on the other side of the new year, probably in full course rehearsals is the hope.
Right.
But we'll see. We're not gonna have our guys or force them or ask them to take a risk that they may not all be comfortable doing. So It'll be some sort of sense of risk in small groups, but probably not for a little while.
Yeah, makes sense. We're in a similar situation, kind of figuring out what everybody is willing to do, and we're sort of in that position of being in a luxury of being a smaller chorus
Yeah.
with a big hall that we own. So there are some things that we can take care of, but still in that same place. You know, we're all in different places and different spots in our lives, and trying to figure out what's best
Yeah.
for everybody or a few. All of that. One of my
There's
guys.
there's just one final thought on that. There's
Yeah.
a study coming out. The Barbershop Harmony Society and some other organizations like ACDA and Chorus America and NATS and some others are collaboratively working with the University of Colorado to kind of do a more formal study of what happens when we sing with aerosols
Right.
and infectious disease. And they have concluded all the testing, and we're just waiting on some results that'll be coming out hopefully in the next couple of weeks that might guide some decisions.
Yeah.
I don't know what the results are,
Right.
but I just know that that information should be released shortly, as specifically as it pertains to singing.
Right.
And the audience there's meant broader than just choruses, but even for like churches that sing and other things, to be able to hopefully get some, at least knowing what the risk is.
Right. Yeah. Much more clearly knowing what. Yeah, because there's just so much unknown
Yep.
at this point.
Right.
Cool. Yeah. One of our guys said baritone slam.
I'm a baritone.
That's right. You're talking to a couple baritones here, so it's fine. Awesome. Well, I'll ask you: is there any one last thing, just kind of generally, or maybe advice for as we're going through these strange times, that you'd love to give to the chorus to kind of close out?
Yeah, maybe just a final thought of, we invest so much time and energy into this hobby, hard to call it a hobby, right? This lifestyle, whatever it is. Keep putting in the effort because when we get back, there's going to be nothing. I mean, music is going to be more important than ever in our communities. Getting out and singing for people and bringing joy to life when we're able to do that is going to mean more probably than it ever has. So don't just think about how it makes you feel. Think about what good you can do for your community there in Louisville or wherever you're going to be performing on the other side of this. And putting in the effort, just being here tonight and learning a little bit more about performance, hopefully, or maybe gleaming one little thing, and keeping engaged with your chorus, that that your first performance on the other side of this is going to be that much better than any performance on the other side. So if you can just take the time to put in the effort and make yourself to be able to come out on the other side of this as a better performer, a better singer, a better musician, and a better chorus member, we're all going to be better for it. So thanks for having me. It's been a lot of fun, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for doing this. We really appreciate it.
All right.
We will talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks, Drew. See everybody.
All right. Bye. Okay. Got super bright here. Hold on a second. There we go. All right. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. I picked up a couple new things and some good reminders. And it's great that we have this as something that we can refer back to as well, because these videos are all going to be saved. I have them saved on our hard drive as well as them being saved in our on our YouTube. So we'll be able to come back to this as we go through. And I was going to save some of this for later, but since he just said it, I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit just before we start singing about exactly that. Thinking about the future going forward. We want to think about kind of the long game. We're not sure yet when we're going to get together. We might talk about, just as he was saying, some smaller group stuff. Sectionals could be good, just for the sake of getting together and singing. We're going to look really, really closely at what we can do, what risks we can take. In that same sense, we don't want people to feel duty bound to doing something that they don't feel comfortable with, but we also don't want to hold everybody back at the same time. So it's a big juggling game, and the board is working hard and diligently, for those of you that don't know, to figure out what direction to go. That said, at some point, we are going to be able to all get back together relatively safely, with a lower risk. And when we do, man, I know we're all going to want to hit the ground running. But in the meantime, it's definitely easy to lose motivation and to lose drive. And I've felt it a few times in the last few weeks. And it's important to think about what this chorus means to you, what this music means to you, what making music and touching people's lives means to you, because there is going to be so much opportunity to do that, and be really really welcomed on the other side. So let's try to keep engaged. I know I'm pun somewhat intended, I'm preaching to the choir here, because the 10 of you that are watching are here every week and fully involved. But that said, spread the word. Try to make sure people are still here. And please, we're going to probably do a bunch more educational stuff, either like this or led by me or led by other team members. I want to know what you want to know. What do you want to learn about? Is there a topic that we can spend 20 minutes on where you've always been like, Drew always says this thing and I don't quite get it. Can we expand on that and learn more about that? This could be a great opportunity for us to learn a bunch of stuff and really be equipped with knowledge as well as technique when we get back together. And then we can just do a ton with it when we get there. So let's keep at it. That said, it's time to jump in and do some singing. So I'm going to close Skype so that's there we go. All right, let's jump in with 1927 Kansas City. I need to find that sheet music is hiding from me. Where are my overlays? There they are. A pat pun. All right. Where did it go? I literally just brought the sheet music into. There it is. 1927 Kansas City. All right. Oops. Page 1. And let's sing. Ooh, fun little reminder on this one. It's been a little while. Great. Here we go.
He bought her a flower at the fair. 1927 Kansas City. Said he liked the color of her hair. Walked her home and told her she was pretty. Then they spent a little while letting their hearts learn to smile, doing things that lovers always do. He said, how many kids? She said, a few. And it's 1927 Kansas City. Bum bum bum. Folks were driving round in their studs, bear cats with straw hats and parasols, the fashion of the day. Summer nights with ukulele strumming. They were humming to the tune of Moonlight Bay on Moonlight Bay. Bathtub gin and movie stars, 2 more payments and the baby's ours. It's the little things that make this life so sweet, when your only worries were your 2 sore feet. From dancing in the street in Kansas City, here I come. Nowadays there's silver in her hair. The kids have come and gone like seasons turning. 40 years since they met at the fair. And he still brings her flowers in the morning. Knowing when the shadows fall, life's a circle after all, reminding her their love can never end. suddenly she's just a girl again. And it's 1927, Kansas City. He brings her flowers every day. Love won't fade away. Love won't fade away.
Tim always holds those tags out so long. Man, I always forget how great this song is. It's so lovely, and this is a great song to apply a lot of the stuff that Dusty was talking about, particularly when he was talking about kind of motivation and know your mission. There are kind of various missions throughout this song. This is a good one where we can kind of combine what we learned from Psy about having goals and goal words and kind of things that you want to make a person do, in a sense, and also have that kind of mission and an image of what's going on in the story. So we can have that dialogue with a person, but also be kind of in the imagery of it. And it just has such a great story arc. Starting off with the very romantic beginning of the relationship, and then all of a sudden everything gets exciting and life is just a big ball of fun and things are going fast and we're buying cars and all kinds of things. And then all of a sudden it gets nearer the end of life. Life is starting to slow down. And then, we get to the very end of the song where it's again just it's relaxed, it's romantic, and that same feeling at the end, and a little bit more almost reflective in a sense. Yeah, so let's sing the whole song again. I want to do a couple of quick reminders right here, and I'm going to pull up the sheet music. After we've gone through that whole big folks are driving around, and of course there is a little bit different interp in general in the song, but particularly that there is right at the end of actually page 3. Let's go there first. So we have key of C, and it's 1927, Kansas City. Bum 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 folks. So we go right out of it, whereas he had Kansas City. Wait. Bum 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 folks, right? We kind of come right out of it with a fermata on city. Bum 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 folks are driving round in their Stutz Bearcats with straw hats and parasols, the fashion of the day. Summer nights, and that should go through there. But good, so we get through the end of this whole section. Kansas City, here I come. And then the rhythm here. Nowadays there's silver in her hair. The kids have come and gone like seasons turning. 40 years since they met at the fair. And then, sorry, so there's no breath there, right? And that's the same as in the track. The one I'm trying to focus on, and I got behind myself, is at the end of the bottom line here. After knowing when the shadows fall, and after the fermata on love, we take a breath, and that doesn't happen in the track. So just a reminder when you're practicing with the track, that there is a breath there that's not in that track. Knowing when the shadows fall, life's a circle after all, reminding her their love can never, whatever the notes are there, never end. And remember to go for a little bit more of that closure and kind of point in the lead section there. Knowing when the shadows fall, life's a circle after all, reminding her their love can never end. And we will go just a little bit longer tonight if you'll all indulge me so we can sing a couple more songs because we don't want to just do the one. So let's sing 1927 Kansas City once more, and then I will probably go through announcements right after this just in case that happens again so that we've got all of the information that we need, and then we'll sing a couple more songs. So there you go. Yay, Christopher's back too. Hooray! And we got some more coming back in, so good stuff. Weird. That's not a whole lot of fun. It gets really dark in this studio when the lights go out, by the way. So, all right. 1927, Kansas City. From the top, watch for those breaths. Try to follow me on them. But of course, we'll be fighting with the track at the same time. So just reminders that those are there. And hopefully that helps. Here we go. Let's get a pitch. Sorry. I'm going to give you a pitch first. Ooh, ooh.
He bought her a flower at the fair. 1927 Kansas City. Said he liked the color of her hair. Walked her home and told her she was pretty. Then they spent a little while letting their hearts learn to smile, doing things that lovers always do. He said, how many kids? She said, a few. And it's 1927 Kansas City. Bum bum bum, folks were driving round in their studs, Bearcats with straw hats and parasols, the fashion of the day. Summer nights with ukuleles strumming, they were humming to the tune of Moonlight Bay on Moonlight Bay. Bathtub gin and movie stars, 2 more payments and the baby's ours. It's the little things that make this life so sweet, when your only worries were your 2 sore feet. From dancing in the street in Kansas City, here I come. Nowadays there's silver in her hair. The kids have come and gone like seasons turning. 40 years since they met at the fair. And he still brings her flowers in the morning. Knowing when the shadows fall, life's a circle after all, reminding her their love can never end. And suddenly she's just a girl again. And it's 1927 Kansas City. He brings her flowers every day. Love won't fade.
right, good stuff. So I plan on singing an uptune in just a minute. We're going to sing through It's a Good Day, and then also the plan was to do a little bit of work on shoot, I've lost it here. Let all mortal flesh keep silence. So just kind of be ready for that in just a little bit, but quick announcements just in case I should happen to lose power again. In 2 weeks, we're going to have Tony Colosimo on with us to do some vocal technique stuff. Some reminders there. That'll be a shorter session. We're going to shoot for 20-25 minutes tops, so that we're doing more singing like this rather than such a long chat like we had with Greg and Dusty. Then again, please go back and watch the vowel video if you have not already. And it says that there are only 3 views, so I was about to get all snarky on you guys, but it turns out a lot of you have actually watched it, and it just hasn't recorded the view count for whatever reason. So please go and watch it if you haven't. If you have, at some point in the near future, watch it again. It's always good to go back and review, and you have those recordings to practice with. I will also make those available separately on Choir Genius in the near future. We had a good chat tonight on the Zoom call before rehearsal. There were about 12 of us there, and it's a lot of fun. So if you are here with us right now and haven't been on the Zoom chat or were not, try to join us if you can. It's fun to chat and get to see each other. And it's just nice, kind of getting to still have that time together. This Friday is the AIC show. And it is online and free to watch. So go to watch.aicgold.com. We'll put it out in an email too to the chorus. But go to watch.aicgold.com and sign up. You'll sign up for the new streaming software that the AIC owns. It's kind of like Flow Voice was, except that it's free to join and become a member, and this show is free. In the future, to be a member of the streaming software remains free, but there will be paid live shows to watch every once in a while. And if you're a member, then you'll get a notification saying, hey, this show is coming up, in case you feel like watching it. So it'll be a good thing if you want to keep up with the AIC and see more top-level barbershop. Go for it. But this show on Friday starts at 6:30 Eastern, and it has the potential to be 3.5-4 hours long. So if you're in for some really good barbershop. Forefront's doing about an 18-19 minute set, and Quartets had the ability to do, I think, up to 28 minutes. Might have been just 25, but regardless, it's normally only 2 songs, 8 minutes. We're doing 5 songs, and a bunch of other quartets are doing full sets as well. So please check it out. It's going to be a great, great, great show with a really epic finale. And finally, before we sing a couple more songs, I want to announce the new song. I know we've only sung our new song, Precious Lord, together once. And I'm really looking forward to getting together and singing it. But nonetheless, we're still looking ahead. We needed that extra song for the show package, and we are getting a song custom arranged for the Thoroughbreds. And so the song is going to be sent to Melody Hine. She's the daughter of Clay Hine, who is an international quartet champion with Fred. He's also just a well-known arranger, and she is becoming a well-known arranger. She is an excellent arranger. She is a a certified judge now, because now they're going through the candidate program. So she is a certified music judge in Barbershop Harmony Society. And she is also... she just won the Harmony Incorporated International Contest. Just all around great barbershopper, great musician. She's a music teacher, all that. So she is going to be arranging the song for us, and this is the song that we are having arranged. Please enjoy. And there it is. And before you worry about it, yes, it is a very modern song, but it's very doable in voices. There's a lot that can be done with voices, and it's not just going to be like a contemporary a cappella chart. Melody has already said she's ready to make it so that there's a lot of homorythm. We're all singing words together a lot of the time. Basses, you are going to have plenty of words to sing. There will probably be some doom sections with background stuff like that, but lots of cool opportunity for good music. So I'm super excited about about that. To answer Pat's question, who's the soloist? I think the plan is to just have it be 4 parts. So it's going to be a lead section melody for the song, and then there could be beatbox opportunity as I talk with her through it, and we kind of craft the arrangement. Is that the question? Pat, are you asking who's going to sing solo or who's the soloist? The performer of the song is Philip Phillips, if you want to look into that. So to Christopher's answer there. Beatbox opportunity, potentially. Also maybe even like an actual kind of percussion instrument of sorts. There's all kinds of opportunities. My goal with this arrangement as we work through it is for it to be able to just be sung by the 4 parts of the chorus and be musically interesting as a standalone 4-part homorhythmic arrangement. But to also have the opportunity, if we wanted to add something like a tambourine or even a cajon or something like that to add more rhythmic interest to it, and do that kind of stuff on our shows if we wanted to. So lots of options with this song, and we're going to explore that. But we also might get this arrangement within the next couple of weeks. She's just kind of cranking them out because she's not doing much else right now, just like the rest of us. So she said potentially in the next 2 or 3 weeks she could even have this arrangement completed for us. So super exciting. As soon as she's done with the arrangement, within the week after that, I should be making learning tracks. And then the music committee will decide whether or not we're releasing the song right away to start learning. So we'll see where that goes. But regardless of whether or not we release it for learning, we will play it for you when it's ready so that we can hear it and get excited about it and be ready for that next step. So with that said, let's sing some more music. How about a little bit of It's a Good Day? I need to open up our show songs here. All right. Now, this is going back a little bit. Think about, again, our continuity of tone, the smooth singing, everything nice and clean and connected. This recording is the recording from the show, so it has some kind of hard ruckus singing in it, as you remember from our discussion. But try to sing it smooth and nice and clean and just forward and exciting. Kind of like we talked about with those warm-ups, with the many mumbling mice, all smooth, connected, and focused word sounds. And let us sing this song. Yes.
Yes, it's a good day for singing a song, and it's a good day for moving along. Yes, it's a good day. How could anything go wrong?
I'm going to go ahead and stop right away just to point these things out. There are a lot of extra breaths in that first phrase as we're listening to it, right? Yes, it's a good day for singing a song, and it's a good day for move. There is a breath there. Not everyone's taking it. What's a cajon? C-A-J-O-N-E, I believe, is how it's spelled. I would go check that out. Look for some cajon videos. It's a little box that you sit on, and you bang on it, and you bang on one part and it sounds like a bass drum, and you bang on a different part and it sounds like a snare drum, but it's just a little box that is a great percussion instrument. Anyway, back to It's a Good Day. Smooth singing. There is a breath after. Yes, it's a good day for singing a song, and it's a good day for moving along. Yes, it's a good. And other than that breath, try to be as smooth and connected as possible. We've got lots of extra breaths in this recording. Here we go once again. All the way through this time, I promise.
Yes, it's a good day for singing a song, and it's a good day for moving along. Yes, it's a good day. How could anything go wrong? A good day from morning till night. Yes, it's a good day for shining your shoes, and it's a good day for losing the blues. And you've got everything to gain and not a thing to lose, 'cause it's a good day from morning till night. I said to the sun, good morning, sun. Rise and shine today. You know you got to go to make a showing, and you got the right of way. So it's a good day for paying your bills, and it's a very So take a deep breath and throw away your pills. A good day for living, a good day for giving, a good day for wishing, and maybe some fishing. A good day from morning till night.
All right, a good example of you can hear everything when there are microphones right on you, right? Including the at the very end of the song. Cool, let's sing one more song. And the plan for tonight, one that we haven't sung in a good while, but is still in the repertoire, and I believe in the gold package as well, is Let All Mortal Flesh Keep Silence. So here I'm trying to find, where did that sheet music go? There it is. Okay. So this, and then super quick announcements again at the end, and then our closer, and that'll be it for tonight. So Let All Mortal Flesh in E minor. Basses, remember, you get the first ooh, which is not on the track. So how about go ahead and sing the ooh with me just as I'm about to start. Basses.
Let all mortal flesh keep silence, and in fear and trembling stand. Ponder nothing earthly minded, for with blessings in his hand, Christ our God to earth descended. Lord of lords in human vesture, in the body and the blood, he will give to all the faithful his own self for heavenly food. Rank on rank the hosts of heaven spread its vanguard on the way, as the light of light descendeth from the realms of endless day, that the powers of hell may vanish as the darkness clears away.
Oh, and how I wish I could hear Whit dropping that low E at the end of that one. Cannot wait to hear that again as well. Awesome stuff. That is a beautiful song. I'm looking forward to hearing us sing this again together as well. So just a couple of quick reminders. Remember that there are some rhythmic things, basses right here on that second measure, right? We have as, let me start on the previous one. As the light of light descendeth from and right on the beat, we tend to try to go from and, or something different like that, right? From endless day. And then the move there, I sang a weird note, but you get the idea there. And then watching out timing on the tag is sometimes a little bit questionable for baritones and leads, knowing when you move and when somebody else moves. So let's get another review on that for next week. Let's sing through this again next week, and I might even break some of it down a little bit. So on that, because we're traveling for the holiday and everything, I won't be doing any other live streams this week, but I do think I will restart some sectionals next Wednesday. So look for that. That'll be July 8th. Yes, July 8th. So keep a lookout for that, because I plan on doing an extra night for us on something, and I'm going to plan ahead, let you know what we're going to be doing. It'll be probably a couple of songs that we just haven't done in a little while and need some focused refreshers on those parts. Also this weekend, I'm going to start doing a bit more work on Kentucky Medley and try to start cranking that out as much as I can. Don't forget to watch the AIC show. And come to our Zoom calls at the beginning of the night if you can, because we miss you. No, not heading to Canada, heading to Nashville. Going down on Wednesday, having Xander's birthday on Thursday, and then the quartets all get together at the hotel in Nashville on Thursday for the AIC show. So if that wasn't super clear, many of us will all be in the same place for the AIC show. We'll be all in the same hotel. But we all have our own hotel rooms, and there are even potential protocols in place where we don't have to see another soul outside of our quartet and the tech crew, who will be very, very far away from us in the room. So yeah, it's going to be a great show. Check it out. watch.aicgold.com. And let's sing our final closing song for the night. And thank you guys again for coming this week. Anybody that you haven't seen on the Zoom or on in the comments on the live stream, reach out to them, see how they're doing. You'll probably be getting a call from me here in the next couple of weeks. I'm starting to call everybody. So look out for that. But I'll probably also be starting with people that I haven't noticed on here in a little bit. So if you're hearing me say this and I don't call you for a little bit, please don't feel left out. I will get to you. I promise. I miss you guys, and I look forward to hanging out and singing with you again. And here is If the Lord Be Willin', Sans Christopher talking. We're just going to jump right into it. Have a good week and a happy Independence Day. And for anyone else that cares, a happy Canada Day on Wednesday. Here we go.
If the Lord be willing, be no water rising. If the Lord be willing, and the creek don't rise. If the Lord be willing and the creek don't rise, we will all be together once again. With a howdy and a handshake, we will start congregating. I can't hardly wait until then. When the good time's over and we all go home, we'll know as we're saying our goodbyes that we'll gather back together if the Lord be willing and the creek don't rise. There'll be beans and burgers and kegs of root beer and songs of good cheer in the air. If the Lord be willing and the skies stay fair, everyone here will be there. When the good time's over and we all go home, we'll know as we're saying our goodbyes that we'll gather back together if the Lord be willing and the creek don't rise. So don't you start a-pouting if the day starts clouding. Think of the friends we all adore, 'cause you can bet your money that it's gonna be sunny. So start praying and praying and praying. Lord, I'm saying, keep the rain away and let us get together like birds of a feather. Back again once more. There'll be beans and burgers and kegs of beer and songs of cheer in the air. If the Lord be willing and the skies stay fair, everyone here will be there. When the good time's over and we all go home, we'll know as we're saying our goodbyes that we'll get together if the Lord be willing and the creek don't rise. Back together if the creek don't rise. The creek don't rise, don't rise.
love that woo at the end of that track. That's awesome. All right, everybody. Thanks again for being here, and take care of yourselves and watch out for more information, more things coming out. And please, if I really mean it, if there is something that you are itching to learn about musically, or technique-wise or anything like that, something that I have, constantly said where you're just like, oh, I don't quite get that. Let me know, because that would be a great thing to talk about, and to do a little educational thing on. I'm trying to find stuff that I can teach you, or I can bring in other guys to teach you, that will be of most value to you. And we're in a time where all of us, myself, Dusty, and others that are coming out, they are all giving their time for free to just educate and be a part of this together. So yeah, let us help you learn something new. Let me know what you want to learn, and we're going to make it happen. I'm not going to teach you how to change your oil on this Zoom call. I don't know how to do that, but there you go. So thanks, guys. I will see you all soon. Have a great night.